Hello, this is Paranormal Girl. I'm now going to talk about 4 different types of hauntings. The first one is residual. This is commonly described as a videotape playing over and over again and seemingly random times. It is believed that a residual haunting is trapped or imprinted energy on an environment. Generally, this occurred because something traumatic happened at that location. The event may not have resulted in anything or anyone dying, but it could have. The biggest thing to note about a residual haunting is that it does not have intelligence. This means that there is no consciousness there to acknowledge you or anything that is going on. Thus, setting up trigger objects or doing EVP sessions at a location with only residual activity will do no good, as there is nothing there with a consciousness to respond. It is believed that this kind of activity has a trigger which causes the tape to play and the activity to occur. The trigger may be a time of year, a day, or a time of day. An event such as an argument or someone crying, or even something like playing a game of cards. Determine what the trigger is for the residual haunting is key to trying to capture it. There is a theory that certain materials in the bedrock of locations such as quartz crystal or having running water source near the location such as a river can increase the chances of a residual haunting occurring. But there have been no conclusive studies to support this theory. The intelligent haunting. This type of haunting is the main type of haunting investigated by paranormal investigators. As the name implies, this type of haunting has intelligence or consciousness associated with it. For those that believe ghosts are spirits of the dead, this is the consciousness of that deceased individual. Whatever it may be, it can respond to questions, react to trigger objects, and interact in many ways with the investigators. This type of haunting is very fun to investigate because you are the only one limited by your ingenuity when it comes to thinking of ways to interact with whatever it might be. The poltergeist. Hollywood has told us poltergeists mean noisy ghosts in German. Hollywood was close. But it actually means rumble ghost, which could be construed to mean the same thing. The thing that Hollywood got completely wrong is the poltergeist movies is that the poltergeist activity is caused by a ghost of some kind, generally an evil or demonic one. Many people currently believe that the poltergeist activity is caused by a living human who is referred to as the human agent. The human agent historically has been a female that was going through puberty, although there has been some cases of male human agents as well, and even older female human agents. It is believed that the physical changes that the girl's body is undertaking, combined with other emotional, psychological or physical variables, results in the activity manifesting. This activity is believed to be psychokinetic or PK in nature. This means that the person is able to move physical objects with their mind. It is thought that this comes as a result of self-preservation reaction by the brain when the subject is not dealing with certain things in a healthy way. The one thing Hollywood got correct was a lot of the activity that was portrayed can include large objects being thrown around a room, pennies raining from the ceiling, people being scratched, punched or pinched. In some poltergeist cases, physical or sexual abuse may be at the centre of the activity, and usually the person responsible for the abuse is the target of any of the attacks. The person who is the human agent is generally very afraid whenever activity occurs, and they aren't aware that they are the ones that are causing it, nor do they have any control over it. Determining who the human agent is the key to stopping the activity, and this can be done by simply observing who is present when the activity occurs and who is not. By process of elimination, you can figure out who the human agent is, and once they are made aware that they are the ones causing the activity to occur, it usually stops. Poltergeist activity is very rare, and there are only a handful of true poltergeist cases throughout recent history. The chances that you will experience this type of haunting is very low. The inhuman haunting. Thanks again to Hollywood. When you hear the term inhuman haunting, we automatically think of a demonic haunting. However, inhuman hauntings refer to any hauntings caused by something that never walked the earth as a human. So this would include angelic, animal, and elemental hauntings. Angelic and animal hauntings are pretty self-explanatory, but elemental hauntings are less well known and require some further explanation. The basic concept of an elemental refers to the ancient idea of the elements, earth, water, wind, fire, and ether, as the fundamental building blocks of nature itself. They were prominent in many of the native cultures throughout the world. Elementals are referred to by various names. In the English European tradition, these included the fairies, the elves, the divas, the brownies, leprechauns, gnomes, sprites, pixies, banshees, goblins, dryads, mermaids, trolls, dragons, griffins, and numerous many others. Gnomes are an example of an earth elemental, and nymphs are an example of a water elemental. It is believed that elemental spirits possess supernatural powers and are usually invisible to humans living among the trees, the rivers, plants, the bogs, mountains, and minerals. They attach themselves to practically every natural thing. Earthly elementals are the metaphysical cause of earthquakes, floods, gales, thunderstorms, and wildfires. Animism, which is the oldest known human spiritual practice, is the belief that elemental inhabit all things. The belief in elemental predates all the major religions. As such, it is pertinent to include the demonic hauntings. First and foremost, demonic hauntings are very dangerous and should not be treated lightly. Whether you believe in demons or not, a demonic haunting essentially has all the hallmarks of a poltergeist haunting, except for a few exceptions. The first is that many or all religious items displayed in the home will go missing or be turned around or upside down over a period of time. The second is a smell of sulphur just before or during when activity is occurring. A third is that sometimes noticed during these sorts of hauntings, it seems that one person is affected more than others, and behaviour changes are noted about that person. However, it's hard to say if this is psychological of that living in a psychological result of living in a haunted location, or if something outside of that person is affecting them adversely. What you must remember is demonic hauntings cannot be treated lightly. If you believe you've got a demonic haunting, then you need to take very special steps indeed. And more often than not, the church is involved in demonic entities. So what's your thoughts on the 4 types of hauntings? Do you live in a haunted house? Or have you been affected yourself by any of these paranormal activities? Let me know in the comments below. I'd be interested in what you have to say. Thank you for listening.